So this is day 3 of the drink beer, lose weight challenge. Opening up another one of those natural lights. So basically what I'm going to tell you about today is, sorry, the dog is harassing me. Basically mindset. By the way, I don't intend to continue drinking every single day as soon as this is done. I'm just basically going to drink until the challenge is over and then go back to not drinking so much anymore. So basically with that, I want to talk about mindset. With that, I didn't like the cold whenever I first started doing this. I freaking hated the cold, actually. I spent most of my day avoiding it. Whenever I was at home, if I had the air conditioner on at all, I would be wearing like, a wool Baja jacket thing is what I usually wore. And then, whenever I was laying in bed and stuff, some people like having a ceiling fan and being cool and stuff like that. Well, like I would have a ceiling fan so I could breathe, but then I had like tons and tons of blankets and dressed or slept fully clothed and stuff like that. And even now, after acclimating myself to the cold, I still like freaking hate the cold. So, I hate the cold whenever I'm not meditating. So I'll still avoid the cold and all of that. I try not to, though, and that's what I'm going to talk about now is mindset. As far as like, whenever you first go in under the cold, you're going to hate it. It's not a thing that you're going to want to deal with, and you're going to be like, I hate the cold, I don't want to deal with this. But that's basically where fat comes from. You got like a triangle of defeating fat, basically. You got your diet, exercise, temperature. Basically what it boils down to is comfort. If you're comfortable, and you're comfortable all the time, in all of those 3 areas, you're going to be fat. That's what's going to happen. So you got to be uncomfortable in one or all 3 of them in order to make that happen. So you can either be, some people are gym nuts, they exercise all the time, work out constantly, and that's how they lose all their weight, pretend they eat whatever they want. That can work. Some people, diet like crazy, but they avoid exercise like the plague. That can also work. Both of those things are going to struggle really hard, though, because you're only doing 2/3 of actually being healthy. So basically, the thing with the temperature part of it is if you understand that it's not just for weight loss and stuff, it is for health as well, that can help you with your mindset. Because when you go in and the cold hits you, you're not going to want to deal with it. You're going to like get in there and be like, man, this is cold, this sucks. Sharpie, go away. And the way that you basically deal with that, no, be quiet. The way you deal with that is to, come here. You want to be in the video? Come here. Is to tell yourself the reasons why you're doing it to begin with. So, if weight loss is your main goal, awesome. It's a great way to lose weight. But there's other things you can do too. It also keeps you from getting sick. And the reason why it keeps you from getting sick is because viruses, bacteria, stuff like that. Well, the reason why you put your food in the freezer or the fridge, the reason why you even cook it, is because you're providing an inhospitable, basically, temperature for these bacteria and pathogens and stuff like that to try and flourish in, because they have to have a host to survive. And this host is usually 98.6 degrees or somewhere thereabouts. And so if you're able to drop that temperature, or you're able to raise that temperature, you're providing an inhospitable environment for them, and so a lot of times they'll die or they'll go dormant or whatever. So if you understand that, you understand that part of the reason why you're doing it, what is your problem? Part of the reason why you're doing it is to keep from getting sick. That can help you a lot. And so then next time whenever you want to go out in the cold and you're like, oh crap, if I don't wear a coat I'm going to get sick. Well, that's only true to a degree. If you wear too much of a coat, you're also going to get sick because you're breathing in cold air and your body doesn't really know what to do because your body is so hot. and you're also babying your immune system and you're babying your cardiovascular system, which is something that Wim Hof talks about a lot. As far as that, your cardiovascular, your immune, basically all of your systems, if you were to like walk out and just like try to lift 10,000 pounds, you know, it's going to crush you. Or even 1,000 pounds, it's going to crush you. But there's bodybuilders out there, and there's weightlifters and strongmen and stuff like that out there in the strongman competitions that can just grab 1,000 pounds and lift it easily. And that is good for them and for their muscle growth and so on and so forth, and their metabolism and stuff like that. But if I was, for instance, to try and lift 1,000 pounds off my chest, I would die. So in other words, if you slowly acclimate yourself, if you slowly build to that, there's health benefits. But if you're an idiot and you like jump in a tub of ice water, you're going to die of hypothermia, heart attack, frostbite, all kinds of crap. But if you slowly acclimate yourself to it, then basically what you're doing is you're strengthening, first of all, the cardiovascular system, because that, if you were to stretch out your veins just end to end, it covers a massive, massive distance. So it's a very large system inside of your body, and that regulates your temperature. So if you're adjusting your temperature there and making your body fight to maintain 98.6 degrees, then in doing that, you're strengthening it. Again, if you were to just jump into boiling water or freezing water, whatever, either one's going to kill you. But if you were to slowly acclimate yourself to that, like a bodybuilder does by getting progressively bigger and bigger weights, then in so doing, what you're doing is you're strengthening that system that you're working on. So when you go out, put on a coat, you go outside in the cold, your cardiovascular system isn't working as hard. You're also, if you're not exercising, you're not eating right, so on and so forth. Your body's not, you're babying it, and so it's just going to fall apart. You're going to get diabetes and all kinds of other things because you're babying that system. It doesn't have to work as hard. So the way to fight that, and this is all things that you want to think about whenever the cold hits you, because when the cold hits you, you're going to be like, man, this is cold. I don't want to deal with this. But if you remember why you're doing it, to be healthier, to not be sick, to have less pain, to have more energy, to lose weight. And then if you ultimately also understand that if you stick it out, it's not going to feel cold for very long. It's a temporary thing, You're in there, you can stick it out for a couple minutes. Once you get to that point, you're not even going to feel it after that. Now when I do this, it's not whenever I dump 60 pounds of ice on me. That's not when I'm uncomfortable. I'm totally comfortable at that point. I could stick that out for as long as I need to. Stick that out for hours if I wanted to, but usually the ice is already melted way before that. What actually is the worst part is whenever you first step in and that cold first hits you, and that shock and that feeling like you're going to gasp feeling. You really want to be in the video, don't you, Sharpie? So yeah, but if you keep the mindset of realizing why you're doing it to begin with, and if you also keep the mindset of, you know what, it's going to get better if I just like stick it out. My first day in the cold, I was just doing the cold shower challenge and stuff, but that I remember, I knew that my goal in my head was 15 seconds. After 3 seconds, though, in the coldest thing and this was just shower water at that point, it wasn't even ice water, I just turned the shower over to the coldest thing that it had, and I remember my first 3 seconds being like, holy crap, I'm supposed to do 15? This is horrible. And then I was proud of myself for making it to 5 seconds my first day. Next day, made it to 10 seconds. Next day, made it to 15. Next day, really said I'm going to do this mindset, and made it all the way to 30. But then I dropped it back down and started stabilizing myself out and doing the 15, then the 30, then the 45. But your first couple days, I mean, you're going to struggle with it, because as soon as that cold water hits you, you're going to want to gasp. You're going to, it's going to be the worst thing ever. But that's part of the, you know, acclimating yourself to it, you know. You don't just jump into ice water. If you did, you would die. Because of hypothermia and all that other stuff. So, really? Really? What? What do you want? So, you want to be in the video? Want to be in the video? Want to be in the video? I'll be right back.